Alright fellow pedal nerds, I'm Robert and welcome back to Tone Chase Basement. Today we have something seriously cool on the board, the Greenhouse Effects Entity Delay Pedal. And let me tell you, this is not your typical delay pedal. Sure, it does delay, but also has some wild tricks up on its sleeve, including built-in modulation and a secret weapon I'm calling the DSS Doomsday Switch. But we'll get into that in a bit, but first please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Greenhouse Effects is an Israeli company known for making some of the most creative and unique pedals out there. Since 2010, the founder Roy Zickery made sure that their lineup isn't just about great tones, it's about personality. And each of their pedals come with stunning comic book style artwork, and they all have a certain playfulness to them that just invites you to experiment. It's boutique pedal craftsmanship, but with an edge. And the Entity Delay is their latest creation, and just by looking at it, you know that it's going to be special. And here's where things get really interesting. This isn't just a delay pedal, it's also a modulation pedal. The repeats aren't just echoes, they can swirl, wobble, or even shimmer depending on how you tweak the settings. The layout is a 4-knob pedal. Time, which adjusts the echo's length from short slapbacks to really long trails. Then Reagan, which is like the feedback knob on classic delay pedals, and adjusts the number of repeats. Then Mix, which is of course blends in the effect with the original signal, and the Morph knob, which is where the magic happens with this one, and adds the amount, character and speed of the modulation to the delay effect. And there is a 3-way switch in the middle, with which you can select the delay modes. So let's break it down. The Entity Delay gives you 3 classic distinct delay modes. First, Orbit, which is digital, clean, precise and modern. In the Orbit mode, the digital delay is colored with a phaser for evolving textures. The second one is Reverie, which is analog, warm, dark and full of vintage mojo. In the Reverie mode, it's an analog delay with envelope pitch modulation. And then of course the Entity, which is the tape, mellow, warm and just dripping with character. And in this mode that the pedal got its name from is a nostalgic tape delay with octaves and soft vibrato. And there is a really cool trick with this one. So if you turn the time and Reagan knobs all the way down, the delay completely disappears, letting you use the pedal purely as a modulation unit. So you just set the modulation level with the morph knob, and that's really wild. So you can dial in lush choruses, deep vibratos, and all kind of weird in-between textures, octaves, and it's basically two pedals in one. So let's check out these on their own without the delay. But now let's talk about the DSS function. So this is where the entity delay takes off into completely sonic madness. Hold down the foot switch and you instantly get infinite repeats and self-oscillation. That means you can create massive walls of sound at the push of a button, perfect for ambient builds, glitchy freakouts, or just making your amp beg for mercy. And if you mess with the morph knob and the time knob while the DSS is engaged, well, things can get really wild. And this pedal doesn't just give you repeats, it lets you sculpt and mutate them into something alive, well, into a real entity. But also, if you only need a classic, old-school delay with no fancy effects or modulation, this pedal shines as well, as with the morph knob turned all the way down, you just eliminate the modulation from the signal completely, and you can have the clean classic delay sounds. So let's check out all three delay modes sound characters. So whether you're looking for a simple classic delay, a deep modulated soundscape, or a chaotic feedback machine, the Entity Delay covers all these bases and then some. Greenhouse Effects has outdone themselves with this one, and just look at it. It's really pretty and would look like a real gem on any pedal board. I can honestly say that this pedal is one of the most interesting and fun to play pedals I've tried recently, and trust me, I have tried out a lot of them, so Greenhouse just made sure that I have to rearrange my pedal board and experiment with some really unique sounds with it. So what do you think? Could the Entity Delay find a spot on your board? Let me know in the comments, and of course, if you dig this kind of gear deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a new episode of Tone Chase Basement. Until next time. And remember, the perfect tone is always just within reach.